We've got just about 3 more people coming, and I know there's some traffic, and so we'll just see. We've got a couple more minutes.
Maureen is here, and there's a couple more people that are, I think, on their way. So we'll go ahead and just get started. And welcome online too. Good to see you. Namaste. How's everybody doing this evening? How's your weekend been? Good. Good. Glad to hear it. I put some things for you over here, if that's okay. Yes. Awesome. We're gonna just start seated. I always like to just take a moment to center and kind of sense into what we've arrived with. So we'll just kind of, you can even find a little movement side to side, just kind of letting your body shift and move and take a little inventory about how the state of your being is this evening, the state of your body, state of your mind, emotions. Just noticing what is present. And we can find some seated cat-cow. So on your inhale, you can kind of roll your heart forward and try not to jut your chin up too much. And then exhale, round the spine back. And inhale. And exhale. Good, let's do that one more time. Inhale. And then exhale. Good. And then rising up, and we'll just inhale the arms. And we'll take a twist to your right. So just bringing the right arm behind you, letting the hands come down to your knee, to the earth, and just opening up through the chest. A nice little warm up for the spine. And then inhaling your arms, reach up tall. And exhaling to the other side. Good. And exhaling to the center. And just walking your hands forward. You can tense your fingers and just take a little forward fold, pressing your hips down and maybe shaking out or moving the head, opening and closing the jaw, and just starting to release some tension, starting to more fully arrive into the space. Good. And then we'll start to come in, or start to walk ourselves back up to center. And we'll just rub our hands together, just create a little energy, feeling the palms rubbing against one another. And then placing the hands over the eyes and just gently let that energy move into your eyes, your brain. Allowing the head to relax, the mind to relax. And then rubbing the hands together again. And we'll just bring the left hand over the heart, the right hand over the left, and we'll just drop into a moment of loving kindness, gratitude for yourself, for making space for our practice. Good, and then we'll just chant one Om to open up our practice. We'll begin with a breath in and out, so inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. And then we'll inhale to chant Om. first shape this evening, or the first place we'll go, is constructive rest. So for constructive rest, you can bring a blanket under your head and neck. And then 2 of your blocks you can bring on the low setting. You can try the low setting first, and if you want, you can switch to a higher setting, but we'll just bring our bolster on top of these blocks so it's nice and stable. This is a constructive rest. So just kind of scoot yourself up and let your knees and thighs or calves rest onto the bolster, and then your head can be onto this blanket. And once you lie down, you can even pull the blanket back a little bit so it feels like it's really resting on that little ridge in the back of your head, the occipital ridge. Yeah, so maybe even scooching your bum a little closer to the bolster so you can just feel really settled and relaxed. And we're going to start with a little mindfulness meditation, breath meditation. So just getting quiet here. Just letting the body fully rest onto the earth, let go of any efforting. This is a meditation called 3 Harmonies. It's by Richard Rudd, the author of the Gene Keys. You might have heard of him. So you can close down your eyes and begin to turn all of your senses inward, as though you are listening to the inside of yourself, to the deep rhythms of your being. The first harmony to listen for is your breath. Just noticing the breathing of your body, the air coming in through your nose, the air going out through your nose, the rising and falling of your chest, of your belly, any subtle tensions in the body, just listening with the breath, observing the patterns of your breath, patterns of maybe the breath being shallow or deep or curved or soft, maybe at times labored or edgy. Just listening. As you listen to your breath, invite the breath to find its own harmony, its own natural rhythm, without efforting or trying or pushing, just a natural rhythm of breath. And now we'll add the second harmony or second breath, which I'll invite you to just sense your pulse, or you can even place your hands on your body and on your wrists or your heart to feel the pulse, some way that's comfortable. Perhaps the fingertips feel the pulse. Just begin to listen to the pulse of your heart. It doesn't have to be loud. It can be just a faint echo, and intention is just enough. At the same time, have awareness of your breath. Listening to the breath and its rhythms and the pulse and its rhythms. So the pulse and the breath rhythms might seem very different. Just invite them to find a way of coming together into harmony. Maybe you feel a certain number of pulses with each breath in and each breath out. Remember, just a gentle intention is enough. Looking for the harmony between the breath and the heartbeat. Feeling a deeper stillness come over you as you fall deeper into this internal landscape of your being. Good. And the last rhythm that I'll invite you to notice is the rhythm of the cells of your body. So every cell, and there are trillions of cells, every cell has a liquid, a fluid that pulses and washes into the cell and out of the cell. Listen, see if you can hear this cellular rhythm. It's a deeper, a subtler rhythm than the other two. Every cell, liquid washing in, washing out. When you find this, even if it's just an idea, just invite this cellular pulse to begin to come into rhythm with the breath and the heart. All three coming together with their own harmony. Just allow the experience to unfold in whatever way it wants to unfold. Dropping into an even deeper silence, like space, clean, open, calm. Taking just a couple more breaths in this experience. Just allowing it to be whatever it is. Feeling your rhythms. Just take 3 more breaths here to just allow that experience to start to subside. Good. And then you can just hug your knees to your chest and maybe just shift your props out of the way for a moment with your feet or however it works. So just staying on your back, keeping your head and shoulders really relaxed. The spine stays grounded to the earth, and you can just bring your hands around your knees and find a little rocking side to side. Maybe even some circles with the low back, or making some circles with your knees so that you circle around the low back, that sacrum area. And just feeling into that experience of just really listening deeply to the inner rhythms. Good. And then we'll just shift all the props off of your mat and we'll just come to rest flat for just a few breaths, just to lengthen out long in your space. So in this Yin class, we typically hold shapes from 3 to 5 minutes, and then we take a pause between shapes or sequences to just let our body become aware of what happened in that echo of that shape and what it communicated. What we'll do next is we're going to just use the props, our bolster and our strap. So you can stay on your back and you can shift your bolster so it's right under your hips. So you'll bring it a little holy thing. So you're going to bring it right under your hips, so your hips will just lift up, and you want it to really support the hips. So it might be a little bit on the curve of your low back, that's fine. But we really want that heavy part of your hips to be supported by your bolster. So just making sure that it feels really solid there. And then your knees can be bent, and you can bring your strap around and bring a hand. I'm sorry. So the strap will come around the ball of your foot, and you can maybe even just circle your hands around the strap. Ideally, what we want is your shoulders and your triceps to rest onto the earth. So we don't want them to be hanging, and we don't want them to be upwarding. We want to work at about, on a scale of 1 to 10, we want to work at about 5 or 6. We're really just letting gravity and the weight of the body do the work. And this is a shape for the gallbladder. And we're just opening up. We're gently and really easily, gracefully opening up the back of the hamstring, the back of the leg. So we don't want to be pulling on this as a big stretch. We just want to be really gently opening and making sure the strap is not in the arch, because that can damage the arch. So we're just kind of pausing here. We're letting everything relax, and we're letting go of any unconscious holding. We're just gently letting the hamstring release. So everything can be grounded, your feet and legs are resting. So in this yin, it's different than yang, we're just going really easy. And we're letting the body trust that we are taking good care. We're not pushing it, we're not striving. So we'll hold this shape for about another 45 seconds. Just noticing where you might be holding, maybe in the jaw, maybe in the hands. Letting the shoulders melt down. Remember to let gravity do all the work, gravity and the weight of your body. Taking your last 3 breaths. Good. And from here, we're going to transition into what's called baby dragon. So you're just going to release your strap, and you're just going to hug your right knee in gently. So your hands can interlace your fingers, and they can just come around your knee, or maybe your strap comes around your knee. And just making sure your whole body's grounded so it feels really safe and held. Remembering the point is not to get a big stretch. It's rather to just gently work with these meridians, the channels. It's like we're getting acupressure. So like if we're in a, even a restorative class, sometimes we stretch more than in yin. Yin, we're really working with the meridians of the body. So we're feeling this through the inner hip crease. We're feeling it through the inner thigh, which is the liver, gallbladder, meridian. You're feeling those rhythms, the rhythm of the breath and the heartbeat, the cells. Take about 3 more breaths here.
My heartbeat cuts right through the
gently releasing that foot down, and you can just bend both knees and bring the feet to the earth, and we'll just pause here. Pause here to just pause and feel the echo of that shape, what's called the reverb. It's kind of like when I ring the bell. You feel that sound, and it might start out really loud, and then it begins to dissipate. As we get quieter in our practice, the mind begins to maybe wander and thinking about planning or thinking about conversations or maybe situations that are on your mind. That's perfectly normal. We're not trying to stop it, but we do want this to be a little bit of like a middle way. We want to be able to come back to center, maybe to a mantra or a word, or maybe even the breath or sensation. So we want to try to let the mind become a little more still. Good, and we'll switch now to the second side. So we'll bring the strap now around your left foot, the ball of your left foot. And if you can bring a strap into both hands, that just allows the upper body to really relax down and settle onto the earth so that you can just focus on letting the weight release. Offer a reading today. This is from a book by Kuan Lu, who was a student of Thich Nhat Hanh, and it's called Wait, a Love Letter to Those in Despair. Living deeply. The moment you see that your wound is not outside, you're already healed. Not through time, but through insight. If a table is heavy, it might take 4 or 5 people to move it. Don't do it alone. Together, you're stronger. We need community, and that takes trust. First, trust yourself. Trust in your insights as the foundation of action. Trust includes knowing that arrows that pierce can be transformed into flowers. In the midst of pain, in the middle of battle, know which wounds are self-inflicted. Understand the roots, the causes of your suffering. When you are in touch with your own wisdom, you'll see the wisdom in others. True strength can be to do nothing, just to be present. The Buddha just sat still with all his integrity and the arrows were transformed into flowers. Doing nothing, you can see and hear a lot. Deep silence is a natural state of being. Trusting in the present, we have less fear. When we react from fear or distrust, pain arises. We hurt each other. Don't be afraid. You're already a 10 out of 10. And knowing that can be calm, clear, and deeply present. Let's take 3 more breaths in this shape. Good. And we'll release the strap and draw the left knee now in, maybe with the strap around your knee or your hands around your knee. So coming into baby dragon. So it's just like a low lunge on the floor, but we're doing it on our backs to make it a little gentler. Feeling the weight of your body, notice where you feel the sensation. Continuing with this reading. From the depths of silence, you can taste life without fear. Even disease or injury won't hurt you. It's the fear of suffering that hurts. No flower is eternal. Each is born and eventually dies. It sprouts from a seed, produces a new seed that falls into the earth, and then the petals wilt and become part of the earth again. In part, impermanence is what makes flowers so beautiful. They display their beautiful shades of red and blue, yellow, white, blossoming, and then their moment passes. You too are blooming. Even in the midst of problems, you are a beautiful flower, and this is your moment. When you understand yourself, you'll live and love more deeply. Taking 3 more breaths in this shape. 5 out of 10. Effort. If you like, you can release into seaweed, which is just bringing your legs up the wall. So it's a seaweed waterfall, sometimes called, and just letting the legs lift up the wall, and maybe even find a little movement with your ankles and toes. Or you could kind of bicycle your knees and just feel the defiance of gravity. Stay in this shape, or if you want to bring your feet down for about another minute, so just whatever serves. And wherever you're at, you can just bring your feet down and to the mat, and you can just gently lift your hips and shift your bolster out from underneath you, and so you're on your back, and we'll just stretch out for a minute on our back and just lengthen out long to feel the weight of the body. feeling that reverberation of that shape, the echo, the medicine in that shape and what it wanted to offer. And you might even feel like some movement, some pulsing, some warmth as that internal rhythm of your fascia starts to unstick in places where there might be some blockages. And it's very, very subtle. Letting our body rest like this is really enormously healing for the nervous system. We're going to do one last thing on our backs here. We're going to take a twist. So we'll just hug the knees into the chest. And you can, we're going to bring both knees to the right, and you can bring the left knee over the top and take a twisted root, or you can just bring the knees side by side. And because we're doing yin, you can bring your bolster underneath your thighs, maybe another block in between your thighs. We want it to feel really grounded and stable. So even if you can do it without the props, it's nice to just feel the support of the props. We'll hold this for about 2 minutes. So just finding a place that you can sustain. Working at about 5 or 6 out of 10. Taking this time to just let the body unwind and really listening to the messages, the wisdom. Gently releasing the twist, coming through center, possibly hugging your knees to chest. And we'll start to make our way over to the other side, taking your time and setting this side up to be supported. My other hips can be completely different from side to side, so I'm not assuming that the same props will work. Maybe this side needs more support. So we're still, but we're not stagnant. There's still movement, the pulsing of the breath, the heartbeat, and the cellular fluids moving in and out. Coming back through center, taking your time and maybe a supported bridge for just a couple breaths to pause and feel the rebound, up, twist. As you're ready, you can begin to roll over to your side and come up to your seat for our next shape. Our next shape is this supported, or butterfly rather. So in butterfly, you'll bring the soles of your feet together, and unlike the yang shape where we draw the feet in close, we're just gonna let there be this nice diamond shape. And you can, if you like, bring a block under each thigh. That can feel nice. And you can decide if you, especially if you've got back, spine issues, disc issues, sitting up taller is a little better for your back. So you can bring a bolster like this idea. Or if you feel like you have a little more space, you can come down. Maybe you don't even want the bolster, you just want to hang. So kind of choosing a shape that will work for you for the next 3 minutes. So we are working that meridian channels on the inner thighs and the spine. And just noticing where the state of your being, the state of your mind, coming back to center, coming back to that anchor, whatever that is. The last little bit of our reading here. If there's discontent in a family and the conflict remains unexpressed, that's a cause for concern. Perhaps members of the family are angry at each other, but no one says anything. Someone can give voice to the problem. It can be an explosion or an honest statement. But fear of fighting or being wronged or defeated can make it seem impossible. The fear that things might go wrong blocks our chance of enjoying our beautiful life. We don't live to be 1,000,000 years old. We truly understand that at some moment we will die, and we can live fully now. Fearing death makes it hard to live fully. Facing death makes life beautiful. The moment that you accept that you are a 10 out of 10 in this life, knowing that sometimes things are difficult, but you've done your best and you can understand and forgive everyone. Then when there's conflict in a family, you'll say something. Really, you have nothing to lose. Truth, even unpleasant truth, brings happiness and relief. It doesn't have to be some absolute truth, just your truth, the way that you see and hear things. The moment of ceasing to identify with your image and discovering that you are truly free is a cause for celebration. Everything you thought was your enemy, even poison arrows, are now even seen without fear. Even in the midst of quarreling, you are free. Let's take 3 more breaths in this shape. As you're ready, you can slowly and carefully lift yourself up, back to center, and we'll just pause for a minute. You can even stretch out your legs if you like, and just maybe even bring your hands behind you and lift your hips a little bit, stretch your heart to the sky, maybe wiggle your toes, or either find a little stillness or find movement, whatever your body's asking you for. Good. And our next shape is half butterfly. So the right leg can be straight and the left foot in. Again, still working that bladder and kidney line. And so again, you can bring a prop underneath your head. You can bring something underneath your knee if you've got tight hamstrings or knee issues. And we'll just be in this shape for about 2.5 minutes. Or you can fold forward if you prefer. Bring a block underneath your head. I had to get 3 blocks so you have enough blocks to put under your head if you want to sit like that. Yin can be one of the most challenging practices because of the kind of the shapes that we're in, and also just the quietness. So just observing your experience and giving yourself space to meet yourself in this quiet space. Taking your last 3 breaths here. As you're ready, just starting to roll yourself up, and we're just going to pause here. So listening to your body, what would it like? Would it like to just sit with a crisscross, or maybe stretch out your legs, or maybe lay back? But we're just going to be here for about 3 or 4 breaths, 5 breaths. Just feel the rebirth. Moving to second side, half butterfly. The left leg comes out, and right foot in. And how can you just be a little easier in your body, less letting go. bringing in that loving kindness, gratitude. Taking your last 3 breaths here. Just as you're ready, carefully and gently lifting yourself up, and we'll just come to sit for a moment to just feel the reverberation, just noticing where the energy is moving. Good, and we'll do a little stretching for the neck. So let's just bring the chin to your chest, and you can just rock the chin from side to side, bringing it from shoulder to shoulder. We're going really carefully. You can start to now go all the way around. So just bringing this around. And as you come to the back, you'll lift your chin up towards the ceiling to support the back of your neck. And we'll just start to slowly move all the way around. Just being mindful of your neck and the places that feel tense or need a little extra attention or care. And once you've gone 3 or 4 times around in one direction or until it feels right, you can start to just reverse that direction of your neck circles. Good. And when you come to completion, you feel complete with both sides. The chin comes to your chest, and then you can just lift your chin back up to center so the chin is parallel to the earth, and just pause for a moment to breathe into the sides of your neck, the back of your neck, and the front of your throat, feeling space, feeling relaxing of your shoulders melting down. Good. And we're just going to come to rest now on the belly, so you can shift your props off of your mat, and we'll come into a rest on the belly, and we'll just gaze to the right. So we'll get another little extra neck stretch. The arms can stretch down alongside your body, and we'll just gaze to the right, and we'll just pause here for a couple breaths, and then I'll have you switch your head so we can even stretch on both sides. Relaxing your belly, feeling the diaphragm, ribs breathe into the earth. You can gaze the other direction, turning your neck the other way. Taking a couple more breaths here. Releasing that unconscious holding, patterns of holding, tension to the neck, shoulders. Good. And then we'll just, when you're ready, we'll just start to press ourselves up to all fours. And coming up to all fours, you could just find a little movement with your spine. It could be some cat-cows, or it could be side to side, any natural movement that just wants to happen in your body. And we'll start to shift into a child's pose. So in this child's pose, you can bring your bolster up between your thighs and just rest yourself forward. And if you need a block because you're tall and you need an extra block here to lengthen this bolster support, you can do that. And then we'll just look one direction, just letting yourself rest down onto the prop or not, just choosing what your body needs today. Letting everything settle. And so in this practice, it's more about, really how you feel in your body versus looking a certain way versus following certain cues. It's a very intuitive practice of listening deeply. If you're gazing in one direction, you can turn your head the other way. Just being curious, a beginner's mind, what's this experience? Taking about 3 more breaths in this shape. Good. And just as you're ready, you can just come up and maybe just pause on all fours to just feel through the inner thighs, through the low back. next shape, I'm going to show you what we're doing while you're resting. We're going to come into mermaid. So this bolster is going to be laying across your mat, and it's going to come right here at your rib cage. So we'll lay over the bolster, and maybe a block comes between your thighs. If you've got back issues, maybe the thighs stay stacked on one on top of another. If not, you can separate your legs or bring a block underneath. And then a block might come underneath your head to support your head. And then another block is your arms reach up over your head. And your hands can just rest onto this block so that you can just get this nice wide opening. Yeah, it feels nice to have a block under your head just so your head is not just hanging out, doesn't hurt your neck. Does everybody have what they need? Noticing the side of your rib cage as you breathe into the prop. You can notice the breath on the other side, the side that's open, exposed. You've been here for about another 45 seconds, so just really letting go. Maybe the teeth can separate and the tongue can relax. The back of the tongue relaxes and sets up at the upper roof of the mouth. The gums can relax. The teeth can relax. And just as you're ready, you can gently just start to press into the floor, to the bolster, and just come up to your seat, and you can just pause here for a breath or 2, 3 to feel that rebirth. It can be a big opening, especially under the armpits here, where we have a lot of lymph nodes that help to carry toxins out of our body. And then you can just flip yourself over and do the other side of mermaid. So, getting yourself arranged on your props, feel supportive. Resting here for another 30 seconds and just noticing where you can drop in, maybe 5% more, 10% more. Noticing the mind, the activity of the mind. Without judging, being critical. It's finding that middle way of coming back to center. As you're ready, just gently, carefully pressing yourself up to a seat. And just pausing at your seat for a few breaths to just feel what you notice, the vibration. Any insights, any messages from your body. Letting go of those deeply held patterns of holding. And our final shape before we close is called heart bed. So with heart bed, you could bring a blanket onto your block, and I like to bring a block right at the end of the bolster here and put my hips onto that. And then these other two blocks can come. If you want to bring the soles of your feet together. Now, if that doesn't feel good, you don't need to do that. And then you just rest back onto the support, letting the head and neck rest out. Maybe you need a blanket under your neck again, maybe not. And it's really just this beautiful opening for the front of the body and the back of the body. If this is really uncomfortable on your legs, you can try straightening your legs out or just bending your knees. So we want to just find something that feels sustainable, supportive. You can hold for about 4 minutes here. Breathing in the space through the chest, through the shoulders, maybe space in the mind, the space of your own rhythms, the heart of your being, pulse, these rhythms within your being connecting to the rhythms, the stars, heaven, life on earth, movement of the moon and the tide, galaxy, all being centered around these three beings, these three harmonies. Just feeling the perfection, knowing that you are one with all that is. Right, so yogi's choice. You can, if you're really comfortable and you want to stay here, you can remain in this shape, or for the last several minutes of class, if you'd like to roll to your side and into more of a traditional shavasana or any other shape, then feel free to go ahead and shift. Wherever you're at, just letting your body be heavy. Feel the pull of gravity pull you down. The bones are heavy. The flesh melts away from the bones. The breath moves in and out, creating space. Space for stillness, for quiet. Integration. Gently begin to just gather yourself, gather your energy. Keeping your eyes closed, you might have a little scan from head to toe and just notice any shifts in awareness, shifts in insight. Notice what's changed, if anything, from when we began our practice. And as you're ready, you can begin to deepen your breath and maybe find some movement, taking your time. There's no rush at all. Maybe opening and closing your jaw or rolling your wrists. As it feels right. Maybe rolling onto your left side, the yin side, balancing the yin and yang, and coming into supported fetal, just hugging your knees into your chest, rounding your spine after that shape we were in to just kind of counterbalance the spine, and maybe your head can rest onto your bicep. Just hugging in and offering yourself some sweet words of loving compassion, kindness, gratitude. Honoring yourself for the courage it takes to ride the rhythms, ride the waves of this big life, this full life that we're in together. Good. And just when you feel ready, you can draw yourself up to a comfortable seat. Once you arrive on your seat, if that's where you're going, you can just let your sits bones anchor down and the spine can grow up nice and tall like a tree, and the shoulders can melt down, and just taking a moment to feel the space, feeling those rhythms and the harmony within yourself. And if there is someone or something that you'd like to offer the merits of your class to, offering some loving kindness to somebody, something, a pet, place. And just as you're ready, you can draw your hands to your heart. And we'll chant one Om to seal our practice. Let's begin by just first taking a breath in and out. So we'll inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. And then we'll inhale to chant. Gently drawing your thumbs to the third eye, seat of intuition and enlightenment. And we'll bow to one another, we'll bow to our practice, bow to the space. Namaste.
Namaste.
Everybody, so much for sharing this practice, for sharing your energy, and have a beautiful evening. Maybe kind of just keep this energy in quietly. Sometimes yoga nidra and yin it can be said that you might feel them for 6, 8, 12 hours after, because they're very much rejuvenating to the shen, to our chi. So so I hope that serves you, and I hope you have a beautiful week. Thank you. If you have anything you want to share, any feedback, I'm always here to listen. Thank you. Namaste. Be well.